Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by Cowden Cosmetic Dentistry. As Texas continues to open back up, don't forget Dr. Anna Cowden and her staff can now handle all your dental needs. Cowden Dentistry can even handle your cosmetic dental needs. Have you put off those exams or cleanings? Book an appointment now, and for a limited time, new patients receive a free, yes, I said free, Sonic toothbrush. I've got mine, and I am totes digging it. That's what the kids say I hear these days. And no matter what procedure you need, your comfort, safety, and the safety of the staff will be their primary concern. So call Cowden Cosmetic Dentistry today at 972-380-6223, or you can email them at info@cowdencosmeticdentistry.com. Welcome to The Mom Game, episode 21. Julie.
We made it.
We made it. We're legal.
And we haven't ever drank a day before today, right? Ever in our lives, because we're 21 now. Big cheers.
We're making do with what we have in the studio.
Makers
Mark glasses with, I will say, like the dishwasher residue that's going on here.
It's fine.
It's good wine. It's Scout and Cellar clean crafted wine. It's not, it'll eat through all of the dinginess of this cup. And I don't know about
Beggars
you.
can't be choosers.
And
We
listen,
came
at
in
this
here, we
point,
had this idea. We were like, do you have any cups? And do you have any wine? And do you have a wine opener? So you know what, Em? We'll take what we can get.
And if you think for 1 second I'm letting wine go to waste, you are
I know
wrong.
you better than that.
Yes, you know me better than that. Okay, so let's take
Cheers.
one quick cheers sip.
Well, that's nice. I don't
It is
usually
nice.
drink red until like 9:30.
Yeah.
PM.
PM.
That's kind of my time.
Oh, I'm more of a 5 p.m., but
With
okay.
red, though? I'm saying red.
So, no, red usually after 7.
Okay.
I'll try.
So we're on the same wavelength.
little
I'm just
lighter.
a little bit later.
Yeah. 9:30, I'm like in my beta zone. I'm going to bed early. Now I'm not because I'm working, but yeah, I've been going to bed early during quarantine, I feel.
I try, but I don't get my kids like all the way asleep until sometimes almost 9.
Right.
So then I don't get to relax. And then I'm like, okay,
now-
it's dark out.
Right.
I got my AC on. I'm all like cozy on the blanket. I need some red. But up until that, with the weather being as hot as it is, I'm like spritzer gal. I'm rosé gal. I'm white wine gal. All of the other.
Zen bin.
Ranch water. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Anything in the Zen bin.
Anything in the Zen bin. Okay, we got
Anyway.
lots to talk about. We both went back to work this
I
week.
know. It's been so fun watching you on TV this week.
It's been so fun.
You're like the
hearing your
only
voice.
person at Globe Life Field.
It's unreal.
And I chuckle every time you go on camera and it's just you.
Hanging out.
How has it been? What's it like? What's
So-
the stadium like? What's your job like? Everything.
Okay, so the first time I went to the stadium was Sunday. So Sunday before we started the exhibition games. And I just went to kind of get a lay of the land. I mean, I hadn't been in it since construction was completed. And I walked in and I could only get, to the bottom of the, I guess the not the lower bowl, but like the middle bowl, the concourse area. And I just saw all my homies and I literally like almost teared up. And I was like, guys!
Like, because you're usually in the dugout.
Right. And I was like, hey, I'm here.
Did you get to... Have you seen anybody? Like,
no,
wow.
I can't get. I can't get close to them. I mean, I'm tier 3, tier 3. So the way MLB has it structured, it's like tier 1 access is like the players, the coaches, support staff, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a tier 2 level, which is like media relations.
Okay.
People
so
that
tier 2 exists.
Tier 2 exists.
At the ticket, it
and
doesn't.
and then tier 3 is that's I'm in tier 3.
All the media, no matter who
media,
you are.
Yeah.
Well, this is just kind of bullshit because
tier 3.
You are not tier 3.
I know, but so it's hard, and I just was, and they were all sweet and waving, and we're blowing kisses, and I'm like, So it was great to be back and to see them, but then not to get to be with them, not to get to hang out and shoot the bull and just talk about shit and get into with the new guys. Like it's been hard. I had 5 days in spring training with them, and I didn't get to develop that rapport, and so that's been difficult. But I've tried to make it as normal as I possibly can for those who are watching the broadcast. I still try to I'll FaceTime with guys throughout the week or whatever, just so I can try to get a little bit more than just the standard Zooms that we're doing. But we broadcast the first 2 exhibition games Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to opening day. And basically all I did was like a tour of the ballpark. Like here I am in, the bridge seats. Here I am just because we want to show our fans as much of the
tables.
The taco
that
tables.
might have been my favorite one that you've done.
Yeah. So I thought, John Blake, the PR man for the Rangers, who's also my boss, was like, you want to go out to the taco tables? And I was like,
like, whoa,
I was like, what are those? He was like, those are the taco tables. And I was like, okay, I'll go out there and do something. And I'm thinking the whole time, like, there's a taco stand out there. Like, it's taco
like somehow
time.
there's an actual taco involved.
No, they're tables shaped like tacos, which is why they're called taco tables.
Is that what everyone's going to call them?
I don't know.
Like the fans, or is that just like a PR thing?
I don't know,
but you went on camera and
totally digging it.
You called them the taco tables, so they will forever be the taco tables.
Yeah, so it's basically just been a roaming tour of the ballpark, and then, opening day is Friday night, and then, we'll see how things go. It's also, my job is so different now. When you're the home team, you have what's called the world feed. And so I won't be able to do something in game, like in the middle of an inning with me being on camera, because the visiting team is relying on our video to provide their broadcasters.
Oh, wow. And they don't need you popping up there on their feed.
So we're going to have our director, Mark Vittorio, who happens to be the husband of Selena Ray, who will be your co-host next week. All comes together.
Breaking news.
So they've been working on creative ways to implement me, within the broadcast. So, I mean, I still I can chime in, whenever, which is great. But as far as me appearing on camera, my husband was like, well, I mean, you don't even have to get ready, do you? I was like, well, I still have to be on camera.
But you've been on camera. Yeah. So it'll be like coming in out of a break or going to a break.
Exhibition games, we could do whatever we wanted. So that's why we kind of took advantage of that time to take our fans on a tour of the ballpark.
I see. But now
once opening day hits, we have to provide that video stream, that world feed to the visiting team and to whoever else around baseball. I don't know who else in the world needs to see the Rockies and the Rangers in game 1 of the season, but
people are desperate, Emily.
It's called the world feed, and so all across the world. So they don't want my mug showing up on the world feed. So that'll be a little bit different.
But you'll be chiming in your voice. You'll be like a third voice on the broadcast, just like the broadcasters, because you don't see the play-by-play guy and the analyst.
And I'm fortunate. I mean, Dave Raymond and CJ Nitkowski, who I've worked with now for a few years, they're game. They're like, we want you on as much as possible. Yeah. And so, so it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. And then, one other weird kind of thing is, and I think we've talked about this a little bit. So long time ago, I'm my OCD, super crazy. So I plan our whole year in January, as a family. We get out the master calendar.
This is a whole nother episode. So, how the hell do you know what's going to happen for the next year?
Once I know the schedule's out.
Okay.
So we plan we plan all our vacations. We plan everything because I base it around the Rangers schedule.
Okay.
So when I planned our summer vacation, which we go every year to Florida for our summer vacation as a family. So when I planned it, I planned it around a 3-city road trip that the Rangers would be on that I was not going on. And so booked the house, paid for the house, and it's a 60-day cancellation policy. And so 60 days out, which was in the middle of May, I reached out to my boss, to John, and I said, what do I do? And he's like, don't cancel it. We have no idea what's happening. We have no idea what's going to go on. And then sure as shit, the schedule comes out and it's like,
the first
opening day, July 25th, and we're leaving for vacation July 26th. And I debated whether or not we should go. Is this a good idea? And then, the Henry tested positive for COVID. The kids couldn't go to camp. They had to freaking stay in isolation with me for 10 days. And so day 2 of isolation, I was like, maybe it's not a good idea if we go. We need to just stay here and hunker down. And by day 9, I was like, we're effing going on vacation. And then we find out that school's postponed until at least in-person learning until at least September 28th. So I'm like, we're going. We're going to go. We're going to be safe. We're going to social distance. We're going to wear a mask. We can be just as safe there as we can here. We're driving, all that.
You guys need it.
We're going.
Yeah.
And so it will be weird. I'll miss 10 games. But John Radigan needs some burn anyway. I mean, John's been covering this team for longer than I have.
So he'll be doing
my job. Yes. And so I have finally gotten over kind of the guilt of missing, 10 games early on in the season. But I'm over it.
Everybody understands at this point. Everybody just has to do what they need to do for their sanity and for their family. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope the season makes it all the way.
I do too.
To 60 games, but you don't even know what's going to happen. So you just have to look out for yourself.
Okay. So you also went back to work.
Yeah.
And speaking of, going crazy and not knowing what's going to happen. Kelly leaves on Sunday for the bubble, your husband who works for the Stars.
Yes. He leaves on Sunday.
Yeah. And so you're back at work.
I'm back at work.
Kelly's going back to work, which means he's in a bubble in Canada.
Mm-hmm. He's going to Edmonton.
Yeah. So he's not going to be much help in the childcare department.
He's going to be zero help.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I want to try to FaceTime at night and, maybe he can like read a book or something. I should send him with some books. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Because they probably won't have any books for him in the bubble.
I can't imagine they would have children's books in the bubble. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I got that idea. I just saw an article about like JJ Barea, who has 3 kids, who's in the NBA bubble, and it was about how he's parenting from afar.
Yeah.
So that's where I saw that. So I think I'll definitely give him some books. But yeah, he's getting ready to leave Sunday. So the shortest amount of time he'll be gone is about a month. The longest would be, just over 2 months, beginning of October. What is that, just over 2 months?
Yeah.
What day is it? What month is it?
It's July 20-something.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, August, September.
So a little over 2 months.
Like 2.5 months if the Stars go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, which we hope that they do.
Yeah.
So I can't really like wrap my head around 2 months of him being gone. So I'm just going to try to go like day by day, you know, and just survive. Luckily, I'm back to work.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I heard your voice on my radio. I was so happy. They were so happy to have you back.
I know.
Like seeing your Twitter mentions, like everyone's so happy to have you back. That had to make you feel good to know how much you were missed.
It does.
What was it like to get back in the groove?
It feels really good. And, when you're gone for 90 days, like, and you're examining your whole like situation, you're like, what am I doing with my life? Am I really going to go back to work? If given the opportunity, do I go back? Should I find something better? Does this company really want me? If they're doing all these things go through your mind. And once you see that kind of support, like from the people that you work with and people that listen, it just made me feel like, okay, 100%, like I'm all in. It's just, you can't find that really anywhere. And I know you have the same feeling with the team. It's like when you just feel like you're valued and that you have real genuine friends that care about you coming to work every day and enjoy what you're doing, it makes you feel a lot better about it.
And I think there's a lot of people going through that, like the whole questioning of everything.
Yeah.
Like when you brought up, like, does this company really want me? Do they value me? Like, people are having to make hard decisions right now, and it sucks.
Yeah, I'm lucky. So I think some people haven't gotten to go back.
Exactly. And there's so many people that are in, a similar boat to yours. And so, I think that's, like I told you, I have a friend who said she didn't tell anyone that she got furloughed, and she was embarrassed. And she said once she heard that it had happened to you, she was like, it made her feel better. So I think you sharing your story and sharing how you feel is a big thing.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what the ticket is. It's like just people being real, and people start to follow somebody in their story, and they appreciate when you're open and candid, because chances are a lot of people listening are going through some of the same things that you're going through. I was talking to Norm about it, and I know we were going to move on to schools a little bit too and everything going on there, but Anna's going to start going 5 days a week once preschool starts, which for us, I think they're going to do virtual the first week of September, and then they're going to go in classroom like September 7th or 8th. That's the plan as of now.
Right.
But just thinking about like all the crazy differences for a 2-year-old who's never been to school, like I'm struggling with that. I'm like, I need her to go to school. I want her to go to school. But just thinking about her having a teacher that's in a mask, and like she can't smile at her and like console her and tell her that everything's okay. I have to like throw her out the car on the first day of school.
Right.
I can't walk her into class, and the school's being great with all of their precautions, and I'm glad they're doing all these things, but just so many changes. So I think when you talk about those kinds of things on the radio and that kind of thing, everybody can relate and understand what you're going through. So it's been good. It's been good for me mentally to be back, but I'm just trying to brace for this long time alone, solo parenting. I'm really thankful there's gonna be sports to watch on TV, because I feel like with my schedule, like I'll get home around 3:34, and then we'll have a snack. We'll put the Stars on because they're gonna be playing around like 5:30 our time, and then Rangers will be on after that, and it's bedtime, and then early bedtime for the kids and me. So that's my plan. I'm going to see how long I can ride it out before I completely lose my mind.
I know. I'm so excited that sports are back. I a little concerned, like as we are taping this on the official opening day of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Which is Thursday, July 24th is today. I've just realized. You know,
July 23rd.
That's what I meant. July 23rd.
It is opening day. We know our days by sports.
It's right. It's opening day. It's
Yeah.
opening day in baseball. There are 2 games, and one of them is being very impacted because one of the superstars of this league, Juan Soto, the stud outfielder for the Washington Nationals, just tested positive.
Like a couple hours ago before
Just
game time.
released. Yes.
Yeah.
And so now it's like we're going to start to see how, first of all, are there any ripple effects? Are there any more positive tests? How do they handle his situation? How long does he have to quarantine? How long? And those are all protocols that I'm certain are in place. How often can he test? Does he have to wait 48 hours and then wait another 48 hours to get 2 negative tests? Like,
right.
You know, you're going to start now that these bubbles, because they've basically all been in their little bubbles, you know, not really bubbles because they're going home still, but then these little, what their loose bubbles are going to start traveling around. And you just wonder, it just makes, I mean, the NBA is, I think they're locked. I think they're going to be fine.
Yes,
I think they'll finish because it truly is a bubble.
It is not a loose bubble.
Right.
It is a sealed, tight bubble.
Yeah.
And because you can't do that in the MLB, they're not doing that because it's like near impossible. Right. But this is the chest. It's like, okay, so if we don't do that, how long can we go? And how will this work?
Yeah.
And even tonight, I know he's not playing in the game, but are other players going to be nervous? Like they're playing the Yankees, right? Yeah. Like, are the Yankees going to be like, I don't want to be out there next to his teammates, you know? But
and then too, you have to think about just like, you know, how at one point does it become an unfair advantage for other teams? And, you know, the Toronto Blue Jays still don't have a place to play their games.
I know, that's really sad. I feel sad for them.
No,
I don't need to feel sad for them. They're Major League Baseball players. But I'm like,
but yeah, they have
like,
they
will you take us?
Right. They
Anybody?
still, they thought they had a deal work out with the Pirates, and then the Pittsburgh was like, we're out. We're not doing that. And so, you know, it's a strange thing. And I applaud Major League Baseball. I never thought, I think we talked about this. I didn't think we'd play a game. I thought there's no way we're just going to show up and no one's quarantining, no one's whatever. We're just going to start testing and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, so I commend baseball, and I commend the players and the staff, the tier 1 especially, that have been diligent about, you know, all the protocols that have been put in place and all the precautions that they've been taking. But it will be interesting to see this first couple of weeks of the season, just if these cases, you know, rise exponentially. Then
what happens? Rangers so far, they had a couple that you know have been through it already, but so far so good there.
Yeah, and but you just never know. Like it could change. You know, it could change on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely.
Well, we will tread lightly, and we will go as long as we can with sports because, oh my God, I've missed it so much. So what's it like without having fans in the ballpark for you? Because I know watching it, I put it on Twitter, and I had like a couple glasses of wine when I tweeted that I just like, I don't know about watching it on TV. It's so weird. Or when you turn on the radio, it sounds normal. But on TV, it was so jarring the first night. And it made me sad because I was thinking like, yes, baseball, yes, sports. Yeah. And then you look around and you're like, oh, like we're in a pandemic and nobody can be there. Right. And it makes you start thinking all these emotions just watching. The next night, I will say, was better.
Yeah. And I think it'll just be what people get used. People just get used to it. Like it'll just get used to it.
What's your thought on crowd noise and...
You know, I think the players like it. Yeah. And so if the players like it, we're kind of catering at this point to them, to what makes them feel the most comfortable. Yes. And so, you know, as a byproduct, you're going to get spillover of that onto the broadcast. I like it. I think if not, it would be super cavernous. Like, so I definitely am a fan of it. I mean, I'm a proponent of it. I mean, if you've got to do, you know, it's not ideal, but I think with the circumstances that we're under, I think it's definitely a and it's going to be interesting because different networks are taking different approaches. Right. So like Big Fox is going to have virtual fans in the stands in their games over the weekend. So, we've got doppelrangers in the stands.
Yes, I was going to talk to you about that. I have one.
Congratulations.
Can you help me find it?
I will absolutely. I will locate your doppelganger tomorrow.
Okay.
I can rest assured. I too have a doppelganger, and I feel like a huge mom fail. Somebody on Instagram or something messaged me. I was like, "Will Henry and Hattie have doppelgangers?" And I was like, "Oh,
all these things to worry about. Now I got to worry about getting my kid a doppelganger."
I totally forgot. So I saw the president of the Rangers Foundation yesterday at work, and I was like, "So is it too late to like get a late ad in the doppelganger game?" She was like, "No, we'll take care of it." So I need to go in and do it.
I don't know about you being there in real life and having a doppelganger. That makes me like uncomfortable.
A little weird.
How are you there twice?
I don't know.
Because I am like fully believing that these doppelgangers are real people because that's all we've got.
One of me is definitely enough, but
mine is only like, so Norm did it for our show, the Normandy Invasion, everybody on the show, and he just asked me to send him a picture, and I had no idea what it was for. So I sent him, you're gonna find a good picture of yourself. Like I went back, I'm back like 5 years in my iPhoto. I'm like, when was I cute last?
Stop
like,
it.
Jesus Christ, Julie. Like, I mean, I was 25. No, I wasn't that young, but it was a while ago. Plus,
Stop it.
Well, I'm not saying that, but you don't take headshots often.
Oh, no.
Right? So, and I haven't had a reason to because I'm in radio.
Right.
So I sent him one, and it's like literally a headshot. So now I'm just like really uncomfortable thinking about just my head sitting there in the stands, like with no body.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be weird.
It's going to be awesome.
Because other people, it looks like, have kind of like torso.
Like showing their shirt.
I'm just going to have a freaking head like on the
giant
seat.
head. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
I'm really nervous about it.
Send you a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we talked about school.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Oh, my gosh.
You got some big news came down this past week.
Well, and it was such a tease because like 2 days before, or like maybe less than a week before the announcement was made. So cut to the chase, we're doing Fort Worth ISD, no in-person learning until September 28th. So that's the first 6 weeks will be all online. But like 4 days before that, we got this like rah letter from our principal who I love. And she's amazing. She's like, here's our plan. I mean, she outlined everything. And we're like,
so
all right, let's go. We got this. Then like 2 days later, it was another step that was like, Fort Worth ISD says it's blah, we're on course. And then 2 days after that, it was like, wah, wah, wah.
Because it was a Tarrant County mandate, right?
It was some health official.
Okay, so then the school
doesn't have a choice.
Right.
The district doesn't have a choice. And so, then you go back and forth of, you've got, first of all, if Facebook mom groups right now are the worst. They're the worst place to be. Oh my God. They're the worst place to be.
And it just, every time you hop on Facebook, it's the first thing that pops up.
It's always, and it's just like, and it's here, it's like, here's what a doctor said. Well, then here's another doctor that said something completely different. And then here's the head of the CDC said he feels comfortable sending his kid back to school.
That you can't quit watching.
Right.
Because I know I shouldn't be reading all this.
Right. But it's just like with politics. You can be on either side of the argument and you can find facts and data and credible sources to back you up. It's on both sides. Right. And so to me, I'm like, my whole deal is you take the information that you have and then you make the best decision for your family. But let's not shame others for that. You know what I mean?
They might be uncomfortable with what they're doing, and that's how they like. Right. Like, I'm just going to shame somebody else because I'm not sure.
Again, be consistent with your cray. Just be. I know you're cray. I'm cray. We're all cray right now. But I need you to be consistent with it, and I need you to also understand that your consistent cray is not the same as someone else's consistent cray.
Right. And everybody's going to make the decision that's best for their family. Some people work, some people don't. Right. Some people can't afford the child care.
I was all in for sending my kids to school, and I still am.
Same.
And I have friends that are not there, and I'm like, kick ass, like get
that's
after
fine.
it. Like you do you, like whatever. But we can't get into this whole like, shaming of people that want their kids to go back to school, because I stumbled upon one of those, and it was just like, come on, man. I mean, you can't,
you don't know what that person's dealing with.
And two, right. And it's for everyone, they have the right to make the choices that they're able to make. At this point, we don't have a choice to make, right? But once that choice is available and once we're able to make those choices, I think everybody needs to back the F off and just let everyone make their own decisions. And if somebody wants to engage in a conversation and ask you why, I'm more than happy to do that.
Right.
But I'm not trying to hear about shame and people, all that about how if you choose this, you're doing it wrong. And if you choose that, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Because in my opinion, there is no right or wrong.
There's not.
I mean, it's whatever that you think is best. But at this point, and that's why you rely on, government officials, you rely on, health people, like professionals to set the guidelines, and then we make those choices within those guidelines. And that's what I will do. And as soon as they tell me that my kids can go back to school in person, I'm going to elect to do that unless something drastically changes.
Yep. I'm in the same boat. So now that you have that long, do you have a plan?
So So I have a group. So kind of. So we have a group. My Hattie is going into first grade. So there's a group of moms that's like super involved. Super on it.
It's great to be friends with those moms. I will never be that mom. No. But I try to find some moms like that.
And
to
so,
connect
I mean,
with.
Before this even all came down, they had like a plan, and I every text I'm like, in.
Right.
This is the cost. In. Like all of it. In.
Yes. Thank you for figuring this out.
Like it's just like automatic reply.
Right.
In.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's taken care of, which is good. And then, but the third grade moms, boy moms, we haven't been as
there's no one steering the ship there.
So we're in the process of a small group that would rotate, like, so where we would get like maybe an education major or a TCU, since we're in Fort Worth, student to come facilitate the online learning from like 9 to noon. And then whoever's house you're at, that parent provides lunch for the kids, for the boys, and then they go have an hour of playtime. So then that way it's like 9 to 2. They're engaged. They're occupied. They're with their peers, to where they have some social interaction, to where it's not just that. So that's what I'm efforting at this point. It's been hard to try to find someone to facilitate that online learning, that 9 to noon, and especially with college kids, because they've got classes.
Yeah, but they could do them. Do they have to do their classes at the exact time? I wonder.
Some of them are changed. So I'm in the process of that. So that's kind of where we are. But I can't do the whole. I can't do it again. I mean, we did it for 2 months in March, and April and May.
And
last
even
year.
all of that, like, it's so much scheduling. It's so much needing to be on call, needing to be, and like, I can't do any of that now that I'm back to work, and my husband's gonna be in another country.
Right.
So I'm like, but it's.
So I'm hoping that works, but I mean, and then you do, it's all just a mess.
Exhausting.
Well, yeah, and then it's like, are they going to have separate Zoom calls for separate classes, or is the curriculum all going to be the same? Like, I know there's so many questions.
And then there's a point where you're like, can we just wait a month for school? Does any of this really matter in the grand scheme of things? As far as but it gets so competitive.
The what? I've drank half a glass of whiskey wine.
But you did say you're on a juice cleanse,
I am
so
on
it probably
a juice
hits
cleanse,
hard.
Yeah, that's true. The pessimist in me is like, this is just the first stop. September 28th is the first stop. Like, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I said the same thing about baseball. We'll never play a game. We will never play a regular season game. Like, there's no way we can figure this shit out.
Starting to look sketchy, though.
And then now... I mean, knock on wood, here we are. So,
the world is a shit show.
It is. But you know what I'm going to do? After opening day, I'm going to get in a car and I'm going to drive to Florida, and I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist. I'm still going to wear a mask. I'm still going to socially distance.
Yes.
But I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, I had some friends that are like reached out and were like, we're starting a concerted effort protest to outline all this. Do you want in? And I'm like,
protest?
Like, not protest, but like trying to convince whoever needs to be convinced that we should go to school.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, check back with me after vacation, because I'm not worrying about any of this shit when I'm gone. I'm just not going to.
You shouldn't.
I'm not going to worry about it.
No, you need a vacation. Y'all have been through a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, not.
I mean, I almost forget the whole isolation COVID thing.
The stock tank in the driveway.
Lots happened. So it's okay to just like decompress for a week.
Okay, so I do have a funny story to
Yes,
tell
I want to hear.
So there's a reason why my hair looks a little greasy and whatever. So in preparation for vacation, I went and got a manicure and a pedicure, got my eyebrows waxed, got a haircut yesterday.
Girl.
Like, I'm like, woo, here we go. And so I go to get a manicure and pedicure, and this is way too much information. People are probably punching out at this point.
Nah.
But I always get gel on my fingers and toes for vacation, because it's like fancy.
Because it'll stay.
Vacation time. It'll stay, right? So I get the gel on my toes, and I get the pedicure first, and then another nail tech or whatever does the manicure. And so he's very thorough, and puts 2 coats of this, pinky little, polish on, and he's like, it's kind of sheer. Do you want me to do a 3rd coat? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? And he's like, I think it'll look better. And I was like, okay, well then put a 3rd coat on.
I always try. They could tell me anything, and I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
And so I get home, take a shower, and then I get out, and I'm like, I don't think she put 3 coats on my toes. There's only 2 coats on my toes.
Oh,
and
Emily.
there's 3. And there's
Emily, how could you even tell?
It was a little lighter.
Oh my God.
And so
tell me.
So there's 3 coats on my nails.
You full on Karen and went back to that nail shop, didn't you?
So I went back in.
That's a Karen.
No, that was so no, Karens aren't nice. I was
okay.
I full on said, I am a complete OCD disaster. He had such a good idea to put 3 coats on my nails, and it looks so good, and I really want one more coat on my toes. And they were like, and I was like, I will pay for it. I know this. I know I'm crazy. Like, I realize this, and I'm owning it, and I'm wearing it. And
they're
I
like,
want
okay, first of all, that's too much information.
And they're like, I was like, I'm going on vacation, and they were like, okay. And so bless her heart, the same nail tech that did my toes did the 3rd coat, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I know I'm crazy, and I was like, I can't explain it. So I had to get that done. Okay, so I
had to get that done.
So I didn't.
You wouldn't have been able to move forward with your vacation.
So I didn't blow dry my hair.
Didn't match.
So I didn't blow dry my hair. So it's like got like product in it without blow drying it, which makes it weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I go and she does it for me, and I'm literally apologizing the entire time.
Yeah.
And she was like, "It's okay." And so I tipped her like 10. They were like, "It's no charge. It's fine. We want you to be happy." And I was like, "No." And so I gave her like $10. I was like, it's the least I can do for dealing with my crazy ass. So yeah. So that's like, if you want to know the depths of meantime, when I'm like about to get in the shower, like getting out of the shower, like I'm holding up my toes to my nails. And I'm like, yep, it's definitely lighter. It's definitely more sheer on my toes. We need to even this out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
we're like just so incredibly different. You know, so many times I'll go to the nail place and I'll just be like, I have no idea what color I even want. And then they're like, how about this? Or how about this? I'm like, okay. And I get home and, you spend like $70 to $90 for both your hands and your feet. And then you get home and then I'm just like, I don't really even like this color. Oh, well, I'll go deal with it in 3 weeks. Right. It's just like, not worth it, my time. But
these are the thoughts that were going through my head. Like, I could just I've got a polish that's similar to this. I could just put one more coat on. But then what if I put a coat on myself and then I mess up the nails, and then I have to go get it all redone again? Like, this is...
Bless your heart.
Bless
Mike's heart. How does he deal with this?
I try to shield him from as much as possible.
Are you OCD with other things, like other people's outfits or like your husband's, like hair, that do other things drive you nuts?
No. I mean, like our house, like that's
right.
Like I told you, one of my kids' chores is to bring down their hangers every morning.
Yeah, I still get confused by
there. Like you can't, like there should be no empty hangers. The hangers belong in the laundry room where I'm folding the laundry and putting all the laundry ready so I can put them on the hangers and then take them upstairs.
What's your fridge like?
Is
it like color coded?
It's not color coded.
Closets color coded?
Yes. Okay. But everything's asymmetrical. I mean, not asymmetrical. Everything's symmetrical.
In your fridge?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like if you have a jug of OJ, you have to have a matching
no, but it just needs to be spaced out evenly. Like I've got drawers for the apples and the oranges, and there needs to be the same amount of apples and oranges in the drawers.
What if you eat one, Emily? What if Sweet Henry goes in and eats a damn orange? Then do you have a panic attack?
No, but then when you go to the store next time, you get the adequate amount of apples and oranges that will make them even.
You count
in the drawers.
Oh my God, this is so exhausting.
This is real life. I'm telling you, it is. I'm insane. I know. I'm crazy.
How do you it's so much upkeep. Like, how do you go to the store that often to keep up your apples and oranges at the same number of items?
I mean, it's not like I go every day. I just make a concerted effort to be sure that the apples and oranges are the same when I do go to the store.
Because it'll drive you crazy for no other reason than that it will drive you crazy.
Snack bins. Like I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard at myself.
So this is good. I feel like it's good therapy for you to have a glass of wine and tell me about your OCD.
The snack bins. Like I need another glass now.
Yeah.
Like the snack bins, they all need to be full. Like,
is this in a pantry? I need a visual. Is this
in a pantry?
Okay.
So we've got pretzels, pirate's booty, goldfish,
all the classics,
nuts, and crackers, and they all need to be full. And none of them can be empty. Like that's...
And they each have their own bin?
They each have their own bin.
Okay.
And there should be no empty bins. The bins should be full. We should have plenty of snacks. We should have...
Well, that's important.
We should have nuts and snacks.
It sucks when you run out of snacks.
Always.
It really sucks. all hell breaks loose.
But like, I'll take a picture in my pantry. Because you probably should see it.
I need to see
everything's, it's not even that it's organized. Everything just has a place and it all needs to be even.
So you're always buying backup snacks so you can have some.
But I don't like to have too much backup.
Right, because where the hell would you put your backup snacks that wouldn't drive you insane?
See? Now you get it.
You could put them in your sparkly floor garage.
Now you get it. Now you get it.
That's the best place for backup snacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Okay, so what if there's more Pirate's Booty than pretzels? Does that drive you crazy?
I mean, okay, I've been known to throw away... Sometimes if it's like a really like disparaging, I'll throw some of the snack away to make it like if
they don't look
if they're way disproportionate, like I'll fix it.
Okay.
Like,
so how long do you give food before you throw it out in your fridge? Like, do you ever let anything expire and mold?
No.
This morning I was leaving, so my mom's in town helping. And my mom, bless her heart, she's so sweet and so helpful. And she's so subtle. Because she would probably be more along the lines of you than me. I don't know how I came from her. But I'm leaving for work this morning. And she's like, Jules, like, what can I help you with? She's like, would you like me to go through your fridge? And like, there was some sausage that had mold on it that I saw, like, trying to be so nice. And I feel like I had just done this like a week ago, but once I get tired of doing it, I just move on to the next chore, even if there's stuff still in the back that I haven't like inspected to see if it's expired or not. I'm like, I'm over this activity. I'm just going to push this shit to the back and like hope that someone else, I don't know who else. That's the thing. No one else.
Who else is going to do it?
Yes. It's all too much. It's also overwhelming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you are on like a crazy ass end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But I need to be a little bit more like that too.
Probably not. No, it's a little much.
Yeah. I worry. Did I already ask you if you take something for this?
I don't.
Like relax. Like
no.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I mean, just wine.
Just wine.
Just wine.
That works.
And that's like my reward at the end of it. So when I won't
tell me more. Tell me more. I love this shit.
So I won't start drinking until my shit's in order. So like I won't like if it's chaotic and there's stuff to be done, I won't this is my reward. This is my reward.
Yeah, and you can't start it until
I can't start it until my shit's in order.
Not at 5 or 6, like when you come home and you just like need to relax a little bit.
No. Like, yeah, and I told you I do the whole nighttime routine when I get home from work.
Do you get to enjoy your evening, or are you more like,
no,
I got to get all my shit done so I can like get all my shit done?
I try to do it like subtly throughout the day. Like, I try not to be like, crazy.
Yeah.
But, let's be real. But yeah,
that's long gone.
Now it's just like I've gotten, once you get to this crazy place that I'm at, then you just have to maintain
There's no turning back, You
just maintain
You're like, this is who I am.
It's not like trying to get somewhere. I'm already here.
Right. You're already there.
I'm already here. Well, I just got to stay here.
There's nowhere you can go.
Yeah.
Like,
I told you, my kids don't have top sheets on their bed because it's too hard for me to make it. I'm like, you don't need a top sheet. You just sleep with the comforter.
But I'm surprised that doesn't make you nuts because isn't the comforter kind of dirty?
No, I mean, it's a duvet cover. I'll throw it in the washing machine every week.
Okay.
It's fine.
Every week you wash the duvet cover?
Well, I mean, when I wash sheets.
God. Okay.
But I also have help.
I don't even wash my sheets every week.
I have help. I do have help. We have a nanny that's at the house 2 days a week.
Right. Yes, and you
Tuesday
properly trained her, you said.
And bless her heart. She's like, but she gets me. I mean, oh my gosh, Miss Vicky, I don't know what I would do without her.
Yeah.
Because she knows all my crazy, and she's been with us for
after
10 years.
Yeah. No, that's great. After I don't know, a year or so of ours, we have somebody that comes every 2 weeks. I wish she could come more often because those are the best days the 2 weeks when she comes. But after a year, she asked me finally, she's like being so nice. She's like, she clean, when she's cleaning the shower, she's like, can I throw away all of these empty bottles of body wash and shampoo? Is that okay? I'm like, yes, please do.
Do all the things.
I don't know. I didn't care enough to
to throw away.
Yeah, isn't that terrible? And I'm not even that. I sound like I'm terrible. It's not like it's a pig pen at my house, but it's just little things. And I feel like I have to prioritize the things that are really important. And all of these things that you're talking about, I can't find the time to prioritize them. So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I was thinking on this show, although you are so organized, but I would love to have some sort of organization person but you don't need that. I don't know. I feel like we need a little bit more self-help type of stuff on this show, like an expert to come on, like a mom expert.
Okay, I'm on it.
You know,
I mean, I'm not on it, but like, let's
somebody
get on it.
Yeah,
like, if you're listening, if you've made it through this fucking OCD talk this far, and you know any experts you want to send our way,
yes, just an expert, like a life expert. I need like a toddler behavior expert. A lot of things. Well, I've learned a lot about you. I'm glad to know all of this. You truly amaze me, and I love you for. I love you for all of it. You crack my shit up.
Same.
And you have like probably the cleanest house of anyone in America, and I strive to be like you someday.
I love you. I love you just as much. I love you for not think. I mean, for not judging me.
We can laugh about it. Yeah, like we all have our like weird ass things, and that's yours. Yeah.
Clearly.
So next week you're gonna be on vacay.
I am.
Which I'm so glad you're going. And you mentioned Selena Ray's going to join me. Selena, who sings the anthem for the Stars and has forever.
And does all their in-game
and does
stuff
all of the in-game hosting. And all of a sudden, like someone like her's out of her usual job.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring her in and maybe have her sing to me a little bit because she has such a beautiful voice.
She does have a beautiful voice.
So we'll have fun. And I think that's a good idea. It was actually a Twitter suggested idea. Yeah. We really do listen to people on Twitter saying, how about other local DFW moms that are working in the business. And even if you're not.
I know I want to get Chris Budden on, who's a friend of both of ours too at some point, who works as a reporter for ESPN and a fun mom. And she's working on a really cool project too that we'll get into. Maybe we can get her on.
You've probably sent her like, and I haven't even gotten to it.
I can't think of anything, which is, we'll talk about that when she's on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've said, like we try to end every podcast this way. We want to create a community. We want you guys to be involved. We want you to reach out to us on social media. We want you to give us suggestions. We want you to tell us how crazy we are.
You are.
Just keep it clean.
I'm crazy.
Be nice to us. Go easy on us. After all,
we're
young. We're just 21. We're just
getting started.
We're just
cheers.
All right, cheers, guys.
All right, peace out from the mom game. Good luck with. Well, I was gonna say good luck with baseball, but good luck in Florida.
Yes.
I hope the Rangers play on, and we're gonna have lots of good stuff to talk about in the coming weeks.
Always. Go Stars.
Go Stars.
Mom game out.
Mom game out.